business. And today we are going to discuss the Codeforces round 1103 deep 3 question. Problem number A. And the problem and the name of the problem game on the train. Okay. So let me first explain the questions. Question says that according to the question, there are three persons. They are decided to play a game, and the main thing I would like to discuss about the question that we have given an array. An array is given to us like this. Like what? Suppose the array is given as 2, 6. The array is given as 6 and 4. This is the array that is given to us. Okay. And what we have to do is we have to this is the array given to us. Okay. And these array elements are nothing but the height of towers. That means this 2, the height of tower is 2 here, the height of tower is 6 here, and similarly the 4 height of tower is. And our goal is to make the height equal by adding some elements, or suppose our goal is to make the heights of all the towers equal by adding some elements in each the elements of the array. So to make this 264 as equal height, what we can add? There are multiple ways. We can add something like, what if we add we can add something like in 2, we can add 10, and the sum will become 12, and for 6 we can add 6, now height become 12, and for 4 we can add 8. So this is array which I can create to and add in this previous given array to make all the heights equal. So there can be the multiple solutions to make the height equal of this particular array for all elements, but there is a condition that the element we have to choose for the adding purpose. We can suppose we are adding the x element. This x element should be 1 or greater than equal to. That means the x should be greater than or equal to 1, and x should be less than or equal to this sub particular keys. Okay, this is the condition given to us. This means we can add minimum 1 and we can add maximum some key element, and our goal that this case should be minimized. In short, this x, the minimum value of x we can take as 1, and we have to minimize the maximum value of x that we can take, and that is the k, and we can make the heights to equal with the given elements. So our goal is to just return the k. We have to return this k, that is nothing but minimum value or maximum value of k. K is the minimum value we can take for x, that is the maximum value of x. Okay, so what we can think of if the array is something like 2, 6 and 4. Okay, so we minimum we have to add, so we can do something like 1, 1, 1. We have to add minimum at least 1. So we can see that the maximum will become, definitely we have to add minimum as 1. So the maximum we can get. So there the minimum have to add 1. So as we have to add minimum 1, and we have to minimize the maximum value. So if we add minimum 1 to all, we can get the maximum as something like 3, 7 and 5. So in order to equal all the elements, we can see that the maximum element will only be one in each. That means as here the maximum is 6. The Let me first remove this condition, and if I think that what I can do to equal all the elements by choosing the minimum value of maximum value. So we can simply think about that. What if we can subtract? So if I think, suppose this array is given to us and we have to make all elements equal, what we can do? What we can add the minimum value in all the elements, that so that each element becomes equal. Then the one idea is we can make all elements equal to the maximum element. So we can add 4 here and it becomes 6. We can add 0 here and we can add 2 here, then it becomes 6. All elements become equal. So how I get what to add? How I get what to add? So how we get what we have to add? So what we can do is we can take the maximum element and just subtract the minimum element. Like we can subtract from 6 minus 4. That means the minimum is 2 and what we will get as 4. That means the maximum, that means we can add 0, 1 to 4. Okay. That means we can add from 0 to 4. If I don't consider these constants, then we can add elements 0 to 4 in all and we can get all as equal. But if you consider the constant, we minimum have to add 1. So our calculation will become 1 to 5. So how I get the 5? The 5 is the k we have to return. That 5 is nothing but maximum minus minimum plus 1. That means we only have to take the maximum element and subtract the minimum element and add extra 1. Okay. So as the example is here 2, 6 and 4. The minimum we have to add 1. So in maximum, so in order to make equal all the elements, the first thing we have to do is we should not touch the maximum element, but as we have to add minimum 1, so the 6 will become as 7. 6 will become as 7 as we have added the 1. And in order to make this 2 to 7, we have to add 5 and add 5, so it will become the 7. And in order to make this 4 to 7, we have to add 3, then it also becomes 7. That means in order to make all elements equal, we only have to consider the minimum element and the maximum element and just add extra value. Without minimum we have to add. I think the approach is clear what we have to do. So let me code this. So press first make the border plane. It's still baby. Then there is the little bit zoom. The name is basic statement. The main function, and we have given a t, k, and for this t we have to solve it for all investigations. So this is what we have given is the first line of history contains a single integer n. Okay, so then let me give you so let me take the next that the second line contains an integers that we have to create an vector array with the size n and we have to take all elements in C array and then we have to for us just k I would second the minimum value of k so that it's possible to make all towers have equal height. So according to our algorithm, we have to first take the maximum element. We can consider the 0 as maximum and minimum element. We can consider the 0 as minimum first. And we can put all the elements and just simply we can take the maximum and maximum. And for minimum as minimum, now we have minimum and the maximum. So we can simply print the maximum minus the minimum with line and with. Let me check that it is working or not. So we can test cases just try to do this. Put it in the code. There's a history you can read it. So I get 3, 5, 6, 7, about 5, 6, 7. That's how we can solve this problem. Let's meet in another video in which we will explain another question and see what happens.